Our topic is homelessness. We feel that this is a topic that is buried under other issues because people ask, does it affect me? And the answer is no. Homelessness does not affect people who are not experiencing it. Most people then turn their back and forget that the people living on the streets are still human beings. The thesis for our video is the high rates of homelessness among people of color is an issue that needs to be addressed federally in 2021.
Thank you. You're right. It's very much related because when you talk about the disproportionate number of homeless and uneducated and unemployed people, our sister here gave us historical perspective, but we must ask ourselves the question, what maintains it?
African Americans make up more than 40% of the homeless population, but represent only 13% of the general population. American Indians, Alaskan Natives, Native Hawaiians, and Pacific Islanders, and those of more than one race each, make up less than 5% of the general population. But each group's share of the homeless population is more than double their share of the general population. Made by the National Alliance to End Homelessness, this graph illustrates the rates of homelessness among people of color in 2020. The government has tried to tackle the problem of homelessness on nearly every level, but comprehensive solutions have proven elusive. Despite billions spent over time, the federal government has set a series of goals of ending homelessness for veterans by 2020, chronic homelessness by 2017, and homelessness for families with children and youth by 2020. But obviously none of these has been successful.
I think we need to consider space. We should increase the numbers of shelters available to the homeless. The question with the solution is that if it is one that will work long term. Shelters are definitely useful. They provide beds and a roof for people who don't have them, especially on cold nights. But the downside to the solution is that it is incredibly expensive to operate. Nationally, the average monthly cost of serving a family in an emergency shelter is $4,819.
If hunger and homelessness is going up, and what are the causes. So today we're going to release this report, and we hope it does exactly what it's intended to do, and that is to really draw more attention to this problem and find ways in which we can work on solutions.
What changes did you see from last year to this year?
Well, certainly there's an increase, and you can look at all the statistics that you want in this report, like it's gone up, hunger or homelessness has gone up 5% or 7%. And while it's important to show the statistics, actually we're talking about real people. They're not just numbers, and it's, quite frankly, in a nation that is as rich as this, it's quite shocking.
As the man said in the last video, it is important to remember that homeless people are still human beings.
It is affordable. Is it, the 30% of your mortgage? Here in Hawaii, it's getting upwards of 50% or 50 to 60% of your income going towards housing.
As talked about in the video before, housing is a humongous cost compared to anything else. Affordable housing is a longer-term solution to end homelessness. An organization called Housing First places homeless people in long-term housing without asking them to get sober or hang on to a job first. Quote, through Housing First, Utah reduced its chronically homeless population 72% between 2005 and 2014, end quote. It's heavily debated whether the homeless should get a free place to live. With that comes a question of ethics. Most right-wing conservatives feel that tax money should be kept in taxpayers' pockets and protect their own freedoms, while most left-wing Democrats believe tax dollars should be spent and used towards creating equality. As a country, it should be collectively agreed upon that everyone deserves a home.